Hi, my name is Ethna from Ethna's by the Sea in Mullaghmore, County Sligo. Today I'm bringing you a home cooking programme, Home Cooking 2020, brought to you by SICAP, the Social Inclusion Community Activation Fund, which has been funded by the Irish Government and the European Social Fund. We hope you enjoy this programme, and to start today we're going to do wholemeal bread. Today for our wholemeal flour we're going to use 1 mug of wholemeal flour, 1 cup of white flour, a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of bread soda, and then our wet ingredients will be a good tablespoon of natural yogurt, an egg, and some milk or buttermilk. If you don't have yogurt and milk, you can use buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, milk and yogurt, you can make some milk sour by using a squeeze of lemon or a little bit of vinegar. And that helps to activate the bread soda to help the brown bread to rise and get some air into it. So I'm just going to take my dry ingredients, my 2 flours, put them into the bowl, shake in my half teaspoon of bread soda, a little pinch of salt, and just with a fork I'm going to stir that around. But this is a simple recipe, and you can, once you get to know this recipe, add other ingredients as you like. So you could add some mixed seeds and nuts, some fruits, even some porridge oat flakes if you like. But just get the simple recipe done first, get to know it, get to know your baking, your oven, how long it takes, and how you like it, whether it's a little bit wet, whether it's a little bit hot and crusty. And then what I do, once I have the 2 flours, the salt and the bread soda mixed up, I make a well in the centre. And the recipe does call for some butter, and the butter normally you can crumble it in with your fingertips, but I've found that it works very well if you just melt it in the microwave. So I've melted my butter, I put my yogurt in the centre, the well that I've made. I add in half of my milk, because sometimes flour seeps more wet ingredients. Sometimes it needs more wet ingredients, other times it doesn't. Then I get my butter, I put that in, my melted butter, and I break my egg into all the other wet ingredients. I take a fork, or if you like a whisk, and just stir those together. Then I get a little bit of treacle or molasses, whichever you prefer, and I've got a hot spoon because it's easier to pour the molasses out onto the other ingredients if your spoon is hot. And to get everything off your spoon, you can use a spatula, and using the hot bowl then to put those sticky things back into the hot water, and I mix that up. Again, I'm keeping everything into the well in the centre and the flours around the edges. Then I'm going to put my fork down, and I like at this point to use my hands because I can feel better with my hands whether the mixture is too wet or too dry. Therefore I know that I need that extra bit of milk or I don't need it. So I use my hand like a spoon or a paddle, and I go straight into the centre. I know it's going to be sticky and everything, but you'll get used to it. Straight into the centre, and then turn things around. So I'm using the shape of the nice round bowl to fold everything in. I'm not squeezing it hard, I'm just folding it in, curling everything over on top of each other. And I can nearly feel that that is just a little bit wet enough, but I might need another tiny little drop of this milk just to get the last bit of the dry ingredients mixed together. And that's mixed enough. We don't have to be mixing it there for 10-15 minutes. We just mix it so it holds together. And then we have our baking tin oiled. I've put a little bit of dried flour, wholemeal flour, on top of the oil, and I place it into my tin. You don't have to just push it a little bit about, just nice and gently. It'll go into its own shape itself, so you don't need to worry too much about pressing it down or anything like that. Now, at this point, you have seen people do the cross on the bread. If you want to, you can do that. It helps to get more of the hot air into the inside of the bread. At this point, if you like to sprinkle a few oat flakes on top, you can do that also. And then I have already preheated the oven to 180 degrees. It's been hot now for about 10 minutes, it's nice and hot. So then you just place your bread into the center of the oven and cook it for about 20 minutes. So we've taken our brown bread from the oven. We're going to just check it. The 20 minutes is nearly up, but as you can see, it's still looking a little bit pale. So we just get a knife, and in the center you put in the knife just to check, does it come out clean? And it looks fairly clean to me. So I'm just going to see will the bread come out, or do we need to loosen it a little bit? So I just slide my knife along the edges of the tin to loosen it. And I have a tea towel which I've dampened lightly here, not too soaking wet, but just a little bit damp. And I'll just knock the bread out onto the tea towel. There, it's come out very well. And I just give it a tap, and it feels very hollow, it sounds very hollow. So we've done the knife test, and we've tested it by the sound, and if it sounds hollow, it should be done. The damp tea towel trick is just, some people like a nice crusty, strong bite through the crust of the brown bread, and other people don't. So if you don't like the brown bread to be too crusty, just wrap it while it's hot in a little damp tea towel, and then put your tin like that so that the air can circulate around the bread, and just let it cool. And it should be ready, nice and soft and easy to cut through in about another 15-20 minutes. So here's our brown bread, nicely cooled down, and we're just going to take a little bit of a slice off it. And you can see it's turned out very well. The treacle has given it a lovely colour, and it's cutting without crumbling. So that's a nice recipe. Simple, easy. First brown bread should be no problem to everybody.